Roadhouse.
Hey, welcome to the Two Stock Movies podcast. I'm Drew.
I'm Cam.
And if you like fight scenes, terrible acting, and I guess a juiced out Conor McGregor, you're going to love the movie we talked today because we're talking about the remake of Roadhouse. Starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Conor McGregor. I think that's about the only notable people that we have in this.
Yeah.
And who directed this one, by the way?
Doug Liman, Liman. He has also directed Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh, that was good.
The original Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Born Identity. Where did he go wrong? Because these are pretty...
Where did he go wrong?
Like, these are decent movies.
Don't know. Jumper? That was a okay movie. It was kind of...
I heard that was like the time travel thing.
Or a teleporting one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So this is a remake of the 1989 film starring Patrick Swayze, rest in peace. And I guess in terms of plot, it's just about this guy. We haven't watched the original. I did not care enough to going into this movie because I just had this feeling that it was just gonna be horrible. I mean,
You went into this?
I
thought it was horrible?
I thought it was gonna be bad because Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought, and it's Amazon Prime, and it's just like I'm very skeptical of a streaming service movie that is being promoted this much.
Right.
It's like if you couldn't get in theaters, why is it that big of a deal? And honestly, if this was in theaters, I know I just went from 1 to 100, but like, do you think that this movie should have been in theaters, or do you think it just wasn't? It just didn't feel like a theater movie.
I feel like if I paid to go see this, I'd be really upset.
It'd be terrible.
And it doesn't touch 2 hours. It's 1:54.
Yeah.
So it probably comes to 1:45 without credits. So if a movie is in 2 hours, I don't think I'll go to the movies to go see it anyway.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a really big thing. But Jake Gyllenhaal, he's a big grab. Anything Jake Gyllenhaal, I'll try and go watch.
This was a terrible decision on his part. Why?
It was.
Why would you? He's like my favorite actor.
Yeah, he's one of mine too.
And he's been in, I think, very few mediocre movies. This is just terrible. I don't know what he...
For funds?
Well, he probably got paid a crap ton, though.
Roadhouse? Yeah. That's probably why Conor McGregor... Oh, man, there was a stat. There's like Conor McGregor was the highest paid debut
First time,
actor.
yeah.
I wonder how much...
Beating The Rock, I think.
Really?
I think so.
How much did he get? Conor McGregor?
He got... Oh, man. I don't know how much he got.
First
Quite a bit.
movie?
So, yeah, I guess the plot is basically this... At least in this movie, the plot is about Jake Gyllenhaal, who used to be a UFC fighter that killed a buddy of his that he fought in the ring.
Yeah.
So he's like mentally like weird, messed up.
Yeah.
But
was it revealed he died? Did he actually die? I thought he just like beat the shit out of him.
He died, I think.
Okay.
The best friend in the cage. And he goes in. He's just like basically like a fight clubbing people. He comes up and Post Malone's there.
Dude. Sorry.
No, it's you can go on. It's bad.
Have you seen
I wish he was in it more. Post Malone.
You know, he wasn't a bad pick because he gives like that dirty kind of...
Exactly who would be there.
Right. Have you seen the Suicide Squad, the new one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when they brought in Pete Davidson, and you know, it would have been cool to see him actually do stuff, but he was in there for 2 minutes and he left.
He like wimps out.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, dude, I'm not fighting him.
Yeah, I was like, okay. And he basically, I guess a woman that owns this place called the Roadhouse sees him there and is like, hey, we need a bodyguard. Can you come be the bodyguard at this Roadhouse in some random place? And he goes, well, first of all, he almost kills himself. He gets on those train tracks and then he like goes, no,
not today.
Yeah. And then he like gets in the car and some terrible CGI of that train hitting him. That was bad. And we'll get to the terrible camera work and the terrible fight scenes, all that. And I'll preface by saying that this movie, and I think you can agree, Cam, makes practically zero sense. The script makes no sense. Things just happen.
Yeah. I know we were talking about in class, the blow-up scene at the
boat. Yeah.
Boat.
I think we have to go literally to just make it sense. So yeah, he tries to kill himself, and then he's like, oh, I need this job. And so he starts working at the Roadhouse, and I just want to say that I've not seen the original, but the original can't be this stupid with how, like, everyone's fighting everybody. Everybody's aggressive. It's like a Looney Tunes episode.
I think they knew coming into it, like, this
is going to be stupid.
Yeah, so, like, let's just go full on. Let's just go full out. And I've seen, this might be the worst movie I've seen over break.
Oh, over break.
Over break, yeah, not ever. But I've seen a lot of crappy movies, but this is the worst in a while.
I don't think the original even was that good. I think it's stupid too. but this one kind of just like, I don't know. I think now that's like newer, it doesn't have that charm of the 80s.
Yeah.
And Patrick Swayze.
And you have Conor McGregor. Like, I don't know. I really want to know what was like the point behind him. Name grab and UFC, that connection.
Not even that. Well, I mean, he's always like big, like he's always doing stuff. But like, I feel like if this was like years ago,
Oh yeah,
he was like popular. I feel like
Yeah.
this would be like a lot more, like.
he's kind of washed now. And it sucks. I like Conor McGregor. As a
Are you a UFC fan?
I watch Conor whenever he. I watch a couple.
I watch him because it's funny. I mean, he's just like a funny guy. He always got something to say.
I thought he was gonna say that iconic line, like, "Who the fuck is that guy?"
I thought I was.
Excuse me, that was terrible.
Cuss on the Tuesday Talk Movies podcast.
Yeah, that was a terrible accent too. Sorry.
Shame on you. I'm disappointed. I'm just kidding. I've cussed like a sailor on here more times. But yeah. What do you think of him as an actor? He's not really. He's just playing himself.
He's just doing him.
It's funny. I mean,
It's all right. I don't know. It was just cringy.
yeah.
And it sucks because everyone.
Looked like he had he had to crap his he had to.
Dude, that's how. Yeah. Everyone's saying that he's like coked out of his mind, like doing a bunch of drugs, and
I think he is.
He is, dude. I follow him on Instagram, and he's crazy. The way he's been promoting this, he was in Sydney Sweeney's like comment section and said, "Go watch Roadhouse."
What? He's weird.
I don't know.
I think he needs his phone taken away from him.
God has to, man. He needs to go fight again. He has to be bored.
I think he was in this because of his fighting. But what makes me so confused is that the fighting scenes aren't even that good.
They're not.
You think that, like, because I went into it thinking, like, oh, like, at the very least, this is going to be, like, a fun, stupid action thing that I can at least have a good time with. That'll be entertaining. It's too long. I think it's too long of a movie. I think an hour and a half would have been perfect for it.
Yeah.
Things just happen. Like I said, like I don't even know how to describe it. Like, Jake Gyllenhaal stumbles upon this town that's just terrible. They fight each other. Everyone's so aggressive. There's gangs everywhere. There's like drug cartels happening around, and it's like this small little key, like Siesta Key looking place.
And the venue's so small.
Yeah.
And the lady's upset that it keeps getting room. Like, if you got a bigger venue or a dedicated spot to fight,
Yeah.
then you wouldn't have these problems. But you choose to fight in the middle of the bar.
It's like, take it outside. And I'm just like, they have to literally put the band in a cage to protect them. And
Dude,
I'm like,
that is actually insane. It's
I don't think.
gosh, I'm just thinking of
I
stuff.
don't think there's a moral lesson to be learned from this movie.
I was trying to think of a plot. Like,
He just goes. He gets wrapped up. People are upset because, no, I know the plot. I figured it out. The bad guy, his dad wants to own the Roadhouse for some dumb reason. It's his dream. They built the town. They want this Roadhouse, whatever. And he's keeping them from owning the Roadhouse or like taking over the Roadhouse.
because he keeps fighting, he takes the money, which is stupid. And that part which is so skipped over.
It is.
Him finding the money and then like him shipping it on the boat. I had to rewind it because I'm like,
I forgot.
yeah.
Because I'm like, what the? Because like they had the girl.
Right.
And I was like, oh, he's just going after the girl. This is supposed to be just them, like, so he can stop, like, beating them up and whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, money come into place. Like, when did that happen?
Dude, that part and then the whole cop thing when he's like on
Awkward. Weird, awkward. Scene went on way too long.
Did you shoot him? Did you just kill him? No, I shot him a while ago, but I just want to make it seem like you did it. I don't know.
I'll say that, like, I guess going back to Conor McGregor, he is like the drug cartel's like lackey. Like, he's just kind of like their like muscle.
Yeah, like the mule, not the mule.
And he feels so like out of place here. Like, it seems like he has no association with anyone. He's just this random guy. And when he's first introduced, I could have died a terrible bloody death. I would be happy if I didn't have to see Conor McGregor butt naked for a long period of time. And like, that scene sucks. Nothing makes me more mad than an action scene that cuts to black and then cuts back and there's like destruction and everything. That's lazy. I could tell they had no money to show what he did. And he's like walking away and he's like, what is it? And that was like not even an Irish accent, but that was just something.
I hated that so much.
It's like, and he's walking all stupid. And
dude, he's walking.
He bends over to grab the phone.
Oh my gosh,
mighty.
I don't even want to explain how we get introduced to him, but his buns are out. We'll say that, and then he like he's butt naked, and when he finally gets clothes, it's just the jacket or a suit jacket.
like
that goes,
barely to his like half his thigh.
yeah, I'm like, and that's what he's going in. Like, oh my God. And I was so confused when they cut to black and the explosion happened. 'Cause I'm like,
Lazy. Felt lazy. Felt like they just ran out of money.
I rarely see that because I don't watch a lot of action movies.
Not great.
It's not, and I got confused. Like, what?
You think you'd show it? Like at the very minimum, just show him like toss it over like a little torch thing and setting him on fire. Like at the very least.
Yeah.
Because like you see people are like on the ground like pleading because he's like beat them up naked.
Dude, it's
It's bad. I
really wish we could talk to these people. Like, why?
it felt. I don't.
Okayed this.
I'm glad it wasn't in theaters. I know. Like I can understand why it was not chosen for theaters because this just feels so cheap. Let alone the ADR is terrible. And ADR is such a minuscule thing. Like if you're not into like making movies and stuff, like you don't talk about like we do them a lot. You're probably just like I didn't notice, but it's like so. I guess I'll explain what ADR. It's like when like they record the audio after the movie, and then they just match up their lips. It's so bad in this movie. Like even just like shots like where the camera's here and it's like a close up, just doesn't match at all.
And you try to match it with like the tone and emotion that's shown on screen.
It sounds, especially Jake Gyllenhaal.
Man,
You think that he'd be the best because like I'm sure he had to do some of this like before in the 35,000 movies he's been in, but he was bad. He had this stupid look on his face the whole time where he's just like, where he's like,
especially at the gas station. He's like, come in the car.
He's like no,
I don't think so.
and so like the movie basically like progresses to him like continuously beating them up. I'm pulling my headphone things that looked really weird on camera. Probably I'm like doing that, but Conor McGregor. He like keeps beating them up and they get mad because they want the Roadhouse and he's not letting them do it, and they just continuously like try and talk to him, make him do this stuff. Doesn't work. They hire Conor McGregor. He brings a driver into the place and beats up Jake Gyllenhaal. And not even like it was like a one-way fight. Like he was beating up Conor McGregor too. Like, but then all of a sudden, like he kicks him out, and then Jake Gyllenhaal just decides no and just walks away. And I don't know why he walked away. Can you answer that for me? I kind of got lost.
McGregor.
I stopped this movie 3 times.
You're lying.
No, I stopped 3 times because I got so like I was like, what's happening? Like this is stupid.
Why did Conor McGregor walk?
Well, no. Why did Jake Gyllenhaal walk away when like Conor McGregor like came to the Roadhouse first, and he just walked away past like his girlfriend with no chemistry whatsoever? I don't know. Was it because he didn't want to like kill him, like he did the MMA?
I couldn't tell you.
Like it was such a stupid. It was stupid. I don't think they knew what to do with it.
Man.
And then after that, in terms of plot, this movie just like so much crap. Like trying to think. So he meets this nurse girl, which I thought the beginning was like funny, like the part where he like beats up the guys for the first time and then he drives them to the hospital. Yeah, those first guys.
Yeah.
I like that part. No, I like those parts. I like that guy who broke his arm and he's like talking to him.
What's up, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I was like, okay, this movie's gonna be like funny because like that was a funny moment. It just goes so stupid.
And he keeps bringing the guy around. Like, okay, it was funny the first or second time, and the guy keeps coming around, and especially the last part when he kills when he puts the body in the trunk at the end.
That's a whole thing, but we talked about earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm all out of order, but it's.
But that guy was funny.
He was.
Yeah.
I did like him. They just kept redoing the same joke over and over, and then.
Hey, bud.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's
25 minutes from the hospital.
20. Yeah.
25 minutes, which I was like, that's funny. But so I'm trying to play catch up here because like this movie's so freaking stupid. And what he's about to leave town essentially because he's about to get on the Greyhound bus, and he sees that the gang people burned down this girl in her dad's like library or whatever, which she's, I mean, far and away, and I'm bashing this movie terribly, but I don't care. I have 4 weeks. That girl's probably far and away one of the worst actors in this whole movie. That library girl.
Really?
She's terrible. I mean, she's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, when she's gripping that baseball bat, I'm thinking, this is an actor who was told to grab this bat, and she is doing it, and the film's done with her. Because I'm gonna say that I did not watch the last like couple minutes of this movie.
Wow.
As soon as Conor McGregor like died.
Yeah.
As soon as he died, terribly acted dying scene. By the way, he just went. I'll do it on camera. He like goes. Does that. Whatever. I did not watch it because I was so baffled because it's like I don't know how the original ended, But basically, if you like just spark notes this, he basically shoved to this roadhouse to help them, caused an all-out war between him and the gang, destroyed the roadhouse beyond measure, and then goes, "You guys can take care of it. I'll see you later."
Dude.
And I'm just like, what? Because he gave them money, correct? Did he not?
Yeah, the people, yeah.
Gives them money. And I'm just like, had you not been there, it's a roadhouse. Who cares? Like, just give them to the gang people. Like, seriously?
I would think, like, you're homeless now. Why wouldn't, I don't know,
It's bad. And, yeah, like the boat part we were talking about.
the explosion,
So,
dude,
but yeah, so,
the explosion.
yeah, let me move my mic this way. Okay, cool. Yeah, the boat scene, which basically is when he brings the money back to them.
Supposedly, he never actually comes with the trunk, it seems.
Yes.
Well, no, he actually didn't come on. He didn't come at all because he wanted to make sure, like, his, the kid was safe.
Yes. Yes.
Girl.
And he brings, and they have his girlfriend on
Yeah.
that boat. And he comes in the boat that was her ex-husband's, steals that boat, and he goes in the middle of the yacht on that boat. And they're having a talk or whatever, and it's just like, I'm kind of lost for words because it's the girl's dad, the nurse that he's in love with, her dad that is like also a gang guy, which was a complete exposition dump beforehand on their drive. And he starts arguing with the guy who wants the roadhouse while Jake Gyllenhaal's there. And it felt so weird, felt so awkward. It didn't feel like, because, he's over there going like, I could leave you guys be. And I don't know. Did you get that feeling too, where this is just like awkward?
Yeah, especially like
It feels weird.
when the cop is sitting down on the I guess it was their dad, when he's sitting down on the couch and they're just like going back and forth, and then they're like, "You didn't actually take my daughter, did you?" He's like, "Yeah, I actually did. You took my daughter," and I'm like, I don't know. I think this whole thing was targeted towards the audience. I saw the original because these jokes cannot be for
So
the
odd.
newer audiences.
Yeah.
And
Younger people.
yeah, I didn't want to.
I'll say it.
It just seemed like it was for them, just with a newer cast. You get I don't know.
Those jokes don't work now.
They don't. You got to give me some edgy stuff like curse or something. I don't have a little girl say a curse word.
They do. I mean, they cuss, but
It's not effective. You're just cursing just to curse. It's like a fifth grader that learns how to curse for the first time,
yeah.
and you're just letting it
Just
fly.
me. It's just like me. Yeah.
And then
It's weird. He okay. Now how did he blow his boat up? Did he have explosives on it?
what happened?
Because he like clicks something and it doesn't click initially, like to blow it up,
Right.
and then it blows up. But in my head, I'm like thinking, okay, you blew it up. What's your desired outcome here? You're blowing it up. You wrecked the bad guy's yacht, so you can't leave there. It's sinking.
Your jet ski, like,
And then Conor McGregor comes riding on his little thing,
yeah,
and then they get in a tussle.
takes
and
his speedboat, Conor McGregor's in the water.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what the hell was that? What was that?
What was the
Who wrote that? And what was like what was the thing they needed to do to get out of that? Because what's gained from that? At all?
I don't. And then like I feel like they had to have been off something. They come up with this like, yeah, man, we're gonna blow up the boat scene. The Connor's gonna come in with a speedboat, and
It's hilarious how it's just crazy.
it is. And usually, like, I can watch a bad movie, and if it's bad, it's something to laugh at. Like what did we watch in whatever class? What's the first movie we watched in horror?
Freaky.
Yeah, that movie sucks, but it's funny because
It's because it sucks.
yeah, and I think this tried to do that, but it just failed miserably because
The story just didn't make sense.
story didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense to a comical degree.
Right.
It did because it was like so stupid, but it didn't do it to where you're like, oh, that's so stupid, but I love it because it's stupid. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
like this doesn't make any sense. Yeah, and we go into like, I think we got the bulk of that down, but like the
Okay.
action scenes themselves, because at the very least, have the action scenes be decent.
Realistic.
Everything's sped up. The punches are sped up.
Dude, Drew texted me on Saturday night, and we were talking about what movie we wanted to pick. Then we picked Roadhouse, and he told me ahead of time, he was like, bro, this is bad. I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. 5 minutes later, I texted him like, bro, why is Post Malone fighting so quickly? Because everything, It's so
It's like the punch. As soon as the punch makes contact, it's sped up.
yeah.
If the whole scene was sped up, it'd be better. But they do this stupid thing where they're like,
Yeah.
and it's like it doesn't work. And I can say that the movie does some interesting like camera movements like with the fights. Like it feels like it kind of like gets in your face. It's very like in your face. But I think that there's no moderation with that. It's always like there's moments where like it happens. I don't know what is going on. Like I have no clue what happened for a half of the Conor McGregor Jake Gyllenhaal fight at the end.
Dude,
Could not tell you what the
let it fly.
what the happened there.
Dude. I wish it didn't look.
Fighter too.
Yeah, and they did like the little foot thing, like the leg and their whatever, but I wish it didn't look so choreographed. Like, and they didn't even emphasize, well, they show little bits and pieces of Jake Gyllenhaal in the UFC, but it's not enough to like
Make you get an idea on who he is as a fight, you know?
right. And then it's so little, and then it emphasizes so much how long it's been since he fought. You're like, oh, I guess they want to show like, oh man, he still got it. But dude, you don't show me enough of him. You just show me he killed his best friend with his hands. If you want to show how good he was, maybe like show the whole
A cool trick that he did.
I don't know,
like
like
a Karate Kid thing.
yeah, like
I don't like no.
Jaden, yeah, not the Jaden, the original, whatever.
Yeah, Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
I think that they chose Conor McGregor for his fighting, but I think that it was I think it's such a bad decision to get a fighter and an actor. See, like if you got like two fighters, that could be cool. Get two actors that are trained in stunts, that could be cool. Like John Wick. Which granted, Keanu Reeves has trained himself.
Really?
Yeah, like he knows like martial arts and stuff, which you kind of have to like do because he does his stunts. Well, yeah, he does his stunts in that. But when you get like Jake Gyllenhaal, who like has done action, but he hasn't done like close combat stuff a lot, and you get Conor McGregor, who has to try like all hell to not hit him for real, you get kind of like you can see that Conor McGregor's trying not to hurt him, kind of thing, and it's very like staged. Imagine getting two UFC fighters to act in this thing, and then they could just like go like full ham, like you know what I mean?
You think The Rock could have went in this?
The Rock, I think he's way
he's
too big.
Big, yeah.
I mean, Conor McGregor's pretty steroided up in this.
Man, yeah, they're having accusations. They're saying like he's been on steroids forever.
I guarantee he has.
Yeah,
He had to have been.
And
it's hard to not think he did, but
I wonder what their dynamic was like off camera, because I feel like Conor McGregor's
they're
like
good friends. But
really in real life.
They play it up. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think I like Jake Gyllenhaal. I feel like he's kind of like one of those guys that like would get annoyed by him, but I think he has to appear like he's friends with them.
Yeah.
For the promotion.
I feel like Conor McGregor is kind of a little too much on camera or as friends.
But like he has to say all this bull crap. Like, yeah, I found you to be such an inspiration on set, helping me out with the fighting and everything. And I'm like, dude, like
you could have hired anyone. That could help you out.
I don't know. But there's a lot of promotion for this movie.
There is.
A lot of money going into it.
Probably because they didn't go in theaters.
They have to make up for it, yeah.
And as promoted as it is, it still feels like it's kind of under the radar. Because
there's a lot of good movies coming out right now.
There are.
Dune,
yeah.
I didn't have time. I slept over spring break.
We were supposed to talk about like 3 different, like 2 shows. Dune.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a rough trying to get this in itself, but what else? That new Immaculate movie's coming out. That Late Night with the Devil's out right now. There's a lot of good movies out right now. I've heard.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters, which I heard was kind of.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch that, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this movie kind of just
is.
It just doesn't feel like anyone really. I mean, people cared. But I feel like it's just one of those movies that like is too dumb for its own good. Like it went in with the intent of like, let's be a stupid action thing. And then it became stupid beyond like comprehension and just like didn't work at all. And like, is there an aspect of this movie that's well done? I think the camera movement and the camera shots, I can't even say that in the fight scenes. Like they do some cool things like with the water stuff, like to shoot that.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But if you have a multi-million-dollar action movie, I'd hope you have some redeeming quality. Acting sucks, special effects suck. Well, the fighting sucks. Story's terrible.
You get an explosion. I mean, that goes into the budget. It's stupid how it's set up, but at least it's there.
That was a huge explosion too.
Yeah,
that's like the whole yacht, that big yacht. What technically it's
Billy?
Bad. What'd you say?
Billy, the mob boss. No, he's not a mob. Who's this guy? He was like the main.
Yeah, he was the main boss's son. That would you ever see the guy's dad?
No, I think he's in jail.
Oh yeah,
I think you see like a shadow of him making a call. I think, but the son, he was okay. Like he really gave off that impression that he's
I've
like.
seen him in stuff before.
Yeah, what's his name? Billy Magnuson.
Yeah, I've seen him in stuff.
I think I lied. I don't think I've seen him in anything.
Really?
Many Saints of Newark. I've seen him in that.
He was probably one of my favorite parts of the movie, just because like I feel like he was the only freaking person that like got let's be corny and like a corny action villain. Well, let's at least. I thought he had like probably the best performance of the whole thing, if I'm being honest. I feel like he just balanced like the corniness and like actually like being like entertainingly like corny, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like he know he's bad. You know,
yes.
Yeah, okay.
The story sucks. He knew it, and so he was like, okay, I'm at least gonna like play it up.
Okay.
And like Conor McGregor is so off the rocker on what he's supposed to do. Jake Gyllenhaal kind of like gives his worst performance of his entire life.
And that sucks, man, because he has so many great movies.
I mean, I guess if your first like actually terrible performance is when you're like 47,
Can't go. Yeah.
that's not a bad thing. I'm sure he got a big check for this.
Yeah. What's the budget?
I don't know. I don't think it definitely isn't up like it.
It's not 100.
It can't be. It has to be like
60.
60.
Oh yeah, right. 60.
60 million.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Where'd the 60 million?
Gave the filmmakers and JSR Choice $60 million budget in theatrical, $85 million in streaming. They chose to so I guess 85. That was the whole budget. Okay, 85.
It was 60 to go in theaters, 85 to keep out streaming.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's
But yeah, I don't.
That's a crazy choice to make. Like playing between millions of dollars. That's
Now, for 10 years ago, that wouldn't even been an option that you had.
like I'm going straight to theaters. But,
Yeah, or you just wouldn't get shown anywhere. Yeah, like it would be on DVD somewhere, which is crazy. I think that I don't know, it makes me put to question these originals. I just don't understand. Like A24 seems to be the only like group that gets their like crap together.
No.
Really?
Under the Silver Lake.
It was bad.
I didn't finish it. It's weird. I have to watch it for class in a couple weeks.
Now A24 has some stinkers.
They do.
They have some pretty bad ones sometimes, but I think the majority of their stuff has been pretty decent.
Solid. They know. It's weird how a whole like company can, like all of their movies can fit under one umbrella.
That's true.
Like you can look at a movie like, oh yeah, that's A24. That's why I say
different
it's so
genres as well.
Right. You get The Witch. Oh, we're not gonna go to the Owl.
A lot. I mean, just a lot. Even movies that like you don't even realize are A24. Was Midsummer A24?
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Hereditary was A24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ex Machina.
Was it?
Hereditary?
Yeah, it had to have been.
I think so.
Okay. Like there's so many that like I forget about it. It's kind of nuts, but I don't know. I think that comes down to something like they give the right people the like freedom to do stuff, where Netflix and Amazon and all of them kind of just go like, hey, you like come here. Yeah, you like stuff. Do your stuff. And then they're just kind of like, oh. And I think the promotion kind of, like I said, they had to make up for the fact that they couldn't like, I don't know. It just kind of just feels like such a waste. Because I was wanting to have a good time with this movie. I wanted to like enjoy Jake Gyllenhaal, like kind of not caring so much about his like doing something that's a little more lighthearted than he's used to.
Yeah, all his movies are pretty dark.
Yeah. So, in terms of rating this movie, oh Jesus Christ,
Might be our lowest of the year.
What did I give it on Letterboxd? I gave it a 1.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd, and I think I'm gonna keep it like that.
I think I gave it a 1.5 as well.
It's just, I think it fails in the bare minimum of things so badly. Like the fight scenes, oh my God, like that's the least you can do for me. The acting can be bad, the story doesn't have to make sense, but if the action just like doesn't feel realistic in the slightest,
then you're really
in a movie that is like not a superhero movie. Like come on. And I think the problem, like I said before, is like they got people that like don't, like Post Malone, he doesn't know how to do fight scenes. Conor McGregor can fight, but he doesn't know how to do fight scenes.
Yeah.
And I think,
act.
Yeah, it doesn't know how to, you're saying that. I just think that was a miscalculation on their part. And like, once again, Conor McGregor is like not like up there. Like he, like he's not in like the mainstay like he was in like 2016. At that time, this movie would have been monumental, but now it's like you're watching like a washed-up boxer fight again.
Yeah.
And he's giving it a go, but it's like
there's no one else up there in UFC that has a name that can also go into acting.
That's true. or that even want to.
Right. So I guess this was kind of
They're too busy actually fighting. Yeah.
like actually doing stuff. Conor McGregor hasn't fought in like 4 years.
Yeah.
Or
He's late, didn't he?
Yeah, I watched that fight live, man. It was.
I did too. Yeah, I watched it at my friend's house, and I had no idea like what was happening. I knew it was Conor McGregor, and I was like, "Oh, Conor McGregor, ha!"
Yeah.
There we go. He's out for another. I was like, Jesus, that's crazy.
It's crazy. I was on vacation at a bar, and it was.
Yeah, you're like doing that. You're like, oh my god, because that was right after I graduated high school.
Yeah. And I was watching. I was like, oh, the whole bar was like, whoa. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Do you think that he has a chance to act in another thing?
Does he have a chance, or like
I think he'll pursue it.
Man, he's look like he's having a ball doing this stuff. So with the promotion and stuff, so
He might become one of those like Steven Seagal in those bad action movies. Honestly, like I could get behind that. I'm not gonna lie. It's Conor McGregor. It's fun to watch, but like he's gotta like do something.
if he's known for being in the back, because he's past his prime, so we know he fought the ladder of his career.
This might be the way to go, honestly, for him.
Yeah, easy money. I mean, like he's $80 million budget, or what was it, 80 or 65? I think it was 85. No, it was 60.
85 because they kept it in streaming. Yeah.
Yeah, so 85. I'm pretty sure you got a big cut of that. So, yeah, this might be his.
Maybe. Yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll be in theaters watching a Conor McGregor action movie like Jason Statham. Yeah, that's bad. That's a terrible thought. But you said you'd give it a 1.5.
I think I'd give it away 1.5. Yeah.
Yeah. So wow, we are tired from talking about this movie. I would say that if you like the original, I haven't seen the original. You probably won't like it either way, just because it's so out of touch with the original. Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it would appease the fans, just because of how like stupid it is. And the original's stupid, I can imagine, because with the plot that it has, I don't think it could be good. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like people like wanted to be there for the most part here.
If you want corny and bad, but they know it's good in that regard. Like it's good.
Get drunk to this.
Yeah. If you want that, watch On the Line. That's a movie I just watched.
I watched that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
now that is a movie that's so stupid, but it's done right.
Right.
I love like how fun that was watching that movie.
All right. That's just all. What did you rate it? Because
I'd give that like pure enjoyment like 3.5.
Okay.
Like probably a 3.
Okay.
Because it's stupid. It's like all right. I can tell it's a little cheap and like whatever, but like at least like it's something I've never seen before, and it's like entertaining to watch.
Okay.
So that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
But
It reminded me like this is bad. This is a bad version of corny, but On the Line is a good version of corny.
Gotcha. So. Yeah. So yeah, this is on Amazon Prime. If you want to subdue yourself to this this cinematic slightly torture, give it a try. That's all I gotta say. I'll probably add to my review on Letterboxd because I'm fuming right now about it. But yes, this has been the Two Dudes Talk Movies podcast. I'm Drew.
I'm Cam.
And we will see you next week for our next movie review. Stay tuned.
All right, see ya. Bye.
Roadhouse.